Thank you, sir. Thank you for your blessings to us. We are extremely fortunate having you amongst us. Now, we have other dignitaries also in the dais. So now I will request our second year girls to felicitate Professor Bhima Kondu, who is the HOD of both the departments of Computer Science and Engineering and Artificial Intelligence. Now the department is not yet divided, so I will request our second year girls to felicitate Professor Bhima Kondu. Please come here. Now I would request once again our second year girls to felicitate our beloved registered in church, who is very much popular amongst you, I know, our beloved Tashinul Hafsar. Please welcome.
So, good afternoon all my dear students. So now we all are felicited by some special person. Now this is the time we have to felicitate the person behind, the man behind AGEMC. So I'm requesting Namrata, Haldar and Debolina to felicitate our principal sir and the man behind the AGEMC. Thank you, sir. So I am requesting our principal sir kindly conclude our first stage program and start the new meeting. Okay, thank you, sir.
So now our beginning program is all over. Now is the time to hand over the mic that eminent personality, the magnanimous person amongst us. As you already have understood that the career, it is a dream career for every one of us. That has achieved, and still he is going forward. So his career is an unstoppable career. Is still going. Still he is behind many organizations. Somewhere he is president, somewhere he is vice president. So it is really our sir. I don't know where I should how I should extend my vote of thanks to you. But we are extremely honored. All the faculty members, the present over here, our staff, our students, everyone, and me. At the very bottom of that, for the very bottom of our heart, we welcome you here, and we request now, and I hand over this microphone to you to start your session, deliberation. Sir, please. And I am requesting also the other members to just take the seat in the front of the auditorium, please.
So, very hearty greetings to all of you, and it is really heartening to see that after such a long wait, almost for 1 hour you are waiting, And I fully understand that very young age, you are about maybe 18 years of age, so it's very difficult to sit at one chair for 1 hour and then wait for an old man in white chair and coming and telling something which probably in your language a Buddha candidate. I fully understand your view because I was of your age at some time. That time I was having black hair. But anyway, when I was requested, I said that I will not talk about electrical engineering, I will not talk about any computer engineering, anything. Then what should I talk? Well, what I have planned is a talk based on my own experiences. So what you will hear is primarily it's like a story, what I experienced and similar things. And I fully understand that this gathering, all of you may not hear this. I mean, you are not interested. Because what is there? But 10% of you listen to this and remember 10% of that 10%, I am pretty sure you will be benefited in your life. Because I have been benefited. So when I will think that I have contributed something for the nation. That is what my target is. Now after this you may think that what I talked about. Now as I have given the name, you can see that it's a type of motivational thing. So let us see what I have prepared for you. I always like to give some quotes. Now, this is what you can see this from back also. Okay. Now, this is a Japanese proverb. You know, all the older civilizations they have proverbs. Like Indians have a lot of proverbs. Japanese civilization is also very, very old. Now, you see what it says is very interesting. If you understand everything, you must be misinformed. Now, around you will find people, around your friends, around your teachers, that there are people who understand everything. And in that case, don't get deserted. Remember this quote that these other people who think that they understand everything, they are actually misinformed. And this comes from all lot of experience, statements stuff. Now I will show you something which I got from our management. Now since this is a management college also, I would like to quote this. I got it from my other students and others. Because these are taught in management, the human behavior. And this is nothing my own. This is actually something which is called Dunning-Kruger effect. You look at this, very interesting. What is the x-axis? Is the knowledge. What is the y-axis? Confidence. Now what does it show? That when your knowledge is this, or my knowledge is this, my confidence is very high. I always say, oh, you don't know anything. I know this. That's very difficult. That's always the beginning of the career. When I start our career. And then what happens? You start working and slowly your knowledge increases. So that first peak, then you come to the bottom and you become a little bit cultured person. But what happens, your knowledge increases, your confidence goes down. Why? Because you start understanding that you don't know much. So your confidence goes down. And then you walk further and slowly your confidence and knowledge increases and gradually your confidence again increases. But the point is, it never even reaches that fast peak. That when your knowledge was there and you were very confident, you will never reach that. So that is today called in management knowledge gap. Have you heard something called energy band gap? I think in physics you might have heard. So this is a knowledge band gap which always remains. That means at my age now I know what I know, but I have never confidence, which I was having when I was 22 years of age. This is typical human life and human behavior. Now I would like to go to very famous person. This is all I am going to prepare the atmosphere. First one, this is only one quote. Everybody knows Albert Einstein, isn't it? Now Albert Einstein said this. Only two things in the universe are infinite. Number one, he said, the universe. This universe. Number two, human stupidity. And then he added, I am not sure about the universe. Which means, he said indirectly that I am not sure about that the universe is infinite, but human stupidity is infinite. And again I tell you that we see around us. We see around us, and this is how those people have said we have seen a lot in that. Now I come to a very practical aspect. Language. Now all you must have heard soft skills. Now everybody talks about soft skills. That soft skill level. Now when I ask somebody what is a soft skill, I get an answer. Maybe 75% people say that speaking good English is soft skill. Well, that's wrong. I will tell you that's wrong. I will give you an example. But first let us take that language. So I have put a question here, that language, is it a barrier? What is your opinion? Yes or no? Some says no, some says yes. But my experience is it is a barrier. It is very much a barrier. And I tell you what happens. First of all, I tell you today that when you see me today talking in front of you, and I talk not only in front of you, I talk almost globally. You will never understand that I gave my class 2 exam in Bengal. I wrote my joint entrance exam in Bengal. And I did well in my joint entrance exam, so I joined the university. And from day one in this university, everything was in English. All class, all notes, all books, everything was in English. So that was a barrier. Now the question is, I have to survive. I know very well there are people here who are facing this barrier. Very much who are facing this barrier. And in my case what happens, let me tell you, very interesting, because I joined Alipurduar University. So in my class, there were students from all the big schools of whatever name you can take, they were there. And they were very good in English, and not only that, interestingly, I tell you how life things affect a person. See, I was from a totally Bengali background, came here. You know, we used to read these cartoons. Now people have any nasty, but think about my time. We used to read something called Halabal. I don't know whether you ever seen it. I used to read something called Montu. But those people in my class who were from all those big schools, they were not reading this. They in front of me talked about aesthetics. Have you read aesthetics? I have never heard about aesthetics. What is aesthetics? Painting and all these sort of things. So those things affect a person. I start thinking, I know nothing about all this. But the point is not that. The point is I have to survive. Because I came from a middle class family. So I have to survive. How? There is no alternative, but I have to learn. No alternative. How I learned? That is the question. That's why I want to get in my school. And if you follow at least some advice of this, I am pretty sure you will be good in life. The important part that I found that why I was good in English, because my stock of of word was very limited. That means when we speak, how many words you know? Think about it carefully. If that is small, then you cannot speak it. Forget about grammar. Grammar is not important. It's an important as a word. So I have to improve it. How? Right? You cannot memorize a dictionary to improve that's not possible. So I thought that I will do one thing. I will read English. But then I cannot read a book because I cannot do it. So I thought that I will not read a book. I will read in the newspaper and not everything. Only what I like. I like it. So I became an English newspaper. There is something on a cricket. So I read that. Believe me, it was so difficult at the beginning. Even reading one item. Now today you have all these digital newspapers, etc. No, you can use it. My suggestion is read one article, only one, per day. If you do it, after 1 month you will see the difference. But you have to do it regularly. And I did that. Because as I said, I have to survive and I improved. In the first semester exam came, semester is only for 4 months, it's not 6 months. So after 4 months the exams came and you have already heard from your principal that I was topper of the class. So point is, that sort of feeling has to be there, that this barrier is there, accept it, don't ignore it and overcome it. So as I am saying, even 10% of the students, if you take this advice, I will think that I have contributed something. That is what that's why I prepared this. Second thing is, when I was doing that, question is, do I flowery language, that big words and complicated sentences? Do you need that? Answer is no. Today I do meeting with all sorts of people. People from Japan, people from Europe. You will hear their English and you will sometimes think it is very funny. But they are very top people. They are top of the university, top of the industry. But what they do is, they say very simple sentences, but their meaning is very clear. You understand what they are saying. This is something please try to develop. This is something please try to develop. Don't go for big language. That is not necessary for an engineer. What you need is, you should tell your view very clearly. And that will help you in your interview also. And then comes the way of talking. Now, let me just give you an example. Why I am saying, because this is all part of the soft skill which helps an engineer. Today, these are the things which we don't have. I mean, we means most of us. Way of talking means, see, I have seen, I take a lot of interviews because I sit now on the other side of the table. So I see that some students or some people come, and when I ask a question, they start answering, like an Asani express. And it feels like that they feel that whatever I do, I have to tell it now, otherwise I'll forget. So everything in a hurry. That's a very bad thing, because what happens, they make mistake. When you try to do that, you make mistake. Invariably. And there are some people, they will think and then say a few words, very slowly. Both are very bad soft skills. Because in one way you speak fast, make a lot of mistakes, another way you speak very slow, and I think, oh, he or she is not confident. So it gives a negative this thing. So somewhat a balance has to be made. But the question is how? First of all, whatever your mother tongue, I don't know, Bengali, Hindi. I tell you one thing, have you learned your mother tongue by reading books? No. So how a child learns? Hearing. So a child hears mother, family members speaking, And then what the child does? He or she starts speaking. And they tell me, when the child starts speaking, does that child speak correctly? No. But that child doesn't stop. He or she keeps on speaking. And after 6 months, starts speaking. That's what you have to do. You have to speak. Break the barrier. You know, most of us feel what? That if I speak, I will speak wrong and then others will laugh. This is the psychology. That other people will laugh at me. Let them laugh. That doesn't matter. See, this is what happens in the national institutes. You have heard that I was director of NIT Calicut, one of the top NITs of India. Now, the atmosphere there is completely different because there are people from all over India. And therefore, when they talk among each other, most of the time they have to talk in English because their languages are all different. Whereas your problem is different. You are more probably all Bengalis. So in hostel, in classroom, what do? You speak only in Bengali. And you don't learn speaking in English. Achha, who stops you? You can speak in English also. You will make mistake. But do it. After 3 months, you will see what happens. You will be changed person. You will have that confidence that I can speak and your mistakes will go away, you will improve. So these 4 years is the time you build yourself. Don't think that this is not there, that is not there. Well, that will be there. There will be shortcomings everywhere. But take this advantage, do all this sort of thing, and you will see you will be a different person. In mathematics, in engineering, probably you will study something called Fourier transform. I am sure that you will be taught Fourier transform because without that we cannot work. I always say that this bachelor's program is a Fourier transform. Fourier transform. That means you enter as a person 1, you go out as a different person. You can do that, you will be successful. Don't remain that person as you enter. That means today. It will be a transformation. That is what I am appealing to you. So, I just on another mode, I try to quote 2 very famous persons. Benjamin Franklin, have you heard the name? Yes. You remember that experiment with kite and all that, some science told you? So he is an American statesman. So he said that if you take a car, there will be 4 wheels. Which wheel makes the most noise? It's the damaged wheel. And this is something still today I follow. Because if there is a meeting and if some people are making a lot of noise, I remember this one. That means that may be the damaged car wheel. That's why so much noise is coming. So don't take noise very seriously. That will be there and take it in your stride. And the second one is the most beautiful, I like it. How many of you heard the name Mark Twain? Not many. No hand? Great. One hand? Okay, you know. He was a fantastic American writer and he was a very witty person. Very witty. So he said this very interesting thing. You see it? It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think that you are a fool. মানে হলো যে মুখটা বন্ধ রাখো আর লোকে ভাববে যে তুমি বোকা। Rather than you open your mouth and remove all doubt. You understood what he meant? So it is very important where to open mouth and how. So if I don't understand something or don't know something, better you keep your mouth closed. There is no point in telling all this blah 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 and then people will understand you are a fool. Don't do that. These are soft skills. So only speaking is not important. That is only part of it. There are other areas of soft skills. Now this is very important. I will take a test now. Very simple test. You should all look at me. and tell me which direction the ceiling fan is rotating. Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Don't look up. Tell me. Clockwise. Clockwise? Anti-clockwise. Some people. Okay, now look up and see. Which direction? Anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. And believe me, in your life, let alone, everything will not be told to you. If you every morning go to, this is the, now Richard Feynman when he got Nobel Prize, in physics, there was some journalist, he asked him a question, what is a scientific process? Interesting, scientific process. Interesting, scientific process. That's a philosophical question. As a director, I have found some money came to not much. 1st January, your value was 1. 31st December, your value will be 37.78. It is not 37% increase. 37 times increase. And what you have done? Not big thing. 1%. Is that very difficult? I said yes, it is very difficult. Why? You have to do every day. Okay, forget about every day. You can do half of it, 150 days. Who is stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. You are stopping yourself. Isn't it? That's a soft skill. This is something called soft skill. You have to develop it. Okay, let me do it. I mean, why somebody will tell me, let me do it. I will do small thing every day. I mean, you do whole day everything. Any damn thing you do. But you can study a little bit every day. We don't do it. Your semester will be on 27th. You start studying on 28th. Or maybe 22nd. That's what we do. Isn't it? Am I telling wrong thing? This is how we study. But who is stopping me to study a little bit every day? I can watch Netflix, I can watch Prime Video, and then still I can study a little bit every day. You do it and see the difference. Just do it and see the difference. Well, probably your friends will pick you. Whatever you are doing, ego chips, chal. But these are things I am giving you the practical. Nowadays we watch Virat Kohli and whatnot. We don't watch all those Olympics. I used to see Olympics. But anyway, forget about that. I am telling you a name, whether you know this person. Usain Bolt. Raise hand, who has heard his name? Oh, good number. So what he did? No, not running. You have to be very specific. He used to run 100 meters and 200 meters. Only 100 meters and 200 meters. This is in Olympics, it is called sprinting. Sprint. Very. Now if you see that YouTube video, there are a large number of videos. It's such a fantastic run. I mean, 3 Olympics, nobody can beat him in 100 and 200 meters. This is unbelievable. I mean, believe me, nobody could do it. Actually, if you see, he was running like from start to finish like at the highest speed. But in that same event, there is a separate run, which is called marathon. Nowadays, there are a lot of marathons, you will see. Every time people organize marathon. You know what is the distance of marathon? 26 miles or 42 point something kilometers. Achha, these marathon runners, have you seen how they run? They don't run like Usain Bolt. They will run very uniformly. Kilometer after kilometer, and then last 2 kilometers, they will still have energy and they will speed up and win. Now I ask you a very simple question. You will graduate at the age of 22. Am I correct? Typically people retire at the age of 60. So how many years you will walk? If you walk the full span? 38 years. Is it a 100-meter run or a marathon run? So will you run like Usain Bolt? No. This is a thing to understand. See, some of us think that everything has to be achieved in the first 4 or 5 years. Well, you can do that, but then you will see after that you will fall. The important thing is you keep on running year after year after year at a very uniform speed. And then at the age of 40, you will be there somewhere. So just remember that, as I said, 10% of the students, if you remember this, then at the age of 40, you will remember probably that old man said something. And why I am saying something? Because I have kept on running in my entire life. Running means working. So that's another soft skill I want to tell you. In English is a very interesting language. In English, we always say, build your career. We never say, make your career. Have you heard make your career? No. It will be only build your career. Check why? Why build your career? This building, when it was made, the first floor, second floor was made first? Is it? No. Which one was made first? No, the foundation. First was the foundation, Vitti. Then everything comes. So we build it like that. That means first the foundation, then ground floor, then first floor, then second floor. So your career is like that. You have to make first your foundation. If that is weak, that building will fall. And when do you make the foundation? These 4 years. These 4 years, that is your foundation. So therefore I request you, don't make your foundation weak. You will be in a problem later. Everybody else will be okay, but you will be in a problem. So just remember that. Whatever happens, this, that, but don't make your foundation weak. And the fundamentals are so important, which we simply ignore. That nowadays you are all, meme people, meme generation. In our time there was no meme. This is a meme, scientific meme. What it says? See, look at that. The top figure, driving a Python, and it is everything very happy and everything. But when you see the full picture, you see the full picture. That's the foundation. That Python has a foundation. So you need to know the foundation. I am showing you that figure, but foundation is in everything. Whatever subject you are studying. So don't ignore the foundation. And one thing, in interviews, these foundation questions are asked. You know why? I tell you my story. Because my friends are all at the big position in different companies. So they take the interviews. You think somebody working in an industry for 20 years, do they remember all those equations after 20 years? No, it's not possible. So they have forgotten those equations, maybe all those graphs. What they have not forgotten is the foundation. Because their foundation, they will be strong. That's why they are there in a successful position. Now, I will always ask a question which I know. So after 20 years, that person, he remembers only the foundation. So they will ask you a question on foundation. So don't ignore the foundation. Some dadas and didis give advice, don't study this subject, that's not important. All sorts of advice you will get. I know it happens. But please, my request is don't ignore the foundation. This is a story, one of my favorite story, that is called insight. You have heard this term, insight. Nowadays, everybody talks about big data, isn't it? You are hearing all big data, big data. Now, when we deal about all those data, how do I develop an insight? Now, I explain it with the help of a story. It is the story of the Second World War. Second World War has distinctive part 1 and part 2. Part 1, Germany was winning. Part 2, Germany lost. But due to some reason or other, the British island was never occupied by the Germany. Germany occupied the entire Europe. So that British island was under the control of British American people. So they were sending aircrafts from Britain to the German positions for bombing. But then Germans were shooting. So 20 aircrafts are going, only 10 are coming back. 10 lost. And this was a big loss for them. So they have a very big meeting of military generals. They collected data, how all those aircrafts that have came back, they studied. And then they found something interesting, that if this is the aircraft, this part of the aircraft has a lot of bullet holes. And this part has less bullet holes. So the military generals said, okay, there are a lot of bullet holes here, put more metal here, so it will not be damaged. Then in that meeting, there was a mathematician, Abraham Wald. It's a real story, you can Google it. Abraham Wald, he was present, I don't know why. He said, military generals, I don't agree with your view. So why? He said, look, you are saying that this part has a lot of bullet holes, but in which aircraft? Those aircraft which has come back. Which means that even if it was hit here, these aircraft are able to come back. What happened to those 10 aircraft which went down? They were hit on the other side. So they could not come back. So if you want to put more metal, put it on this side. That was the decision taken in that meeting, and the history of war changed. Now see, this is called the data and insight. That means same data, generals were looking at one way and this fellow looked at a completely different way. So this is the skill. These are not all technical skills, these are some different skills. And I would like to give a quote of another famous person. Have you heard this person's name? Every science students have heard, right? Niels Bohr, also Nobel Prize in Physics and everything. Bohr said, human civilization, there was Stone Age, then Metal Age and everything. So he said that Stone Age didn't end because world doesn't have stone, isn't it? It is not because that there is no stone. Then why the Stone Age changed? Because human being found another way which is better than stone. So that important point here is that it's the idea, the new idea. That is always the important thing, that makes the change. So that is what I want to also highlight, just to give you some inputs. Now comes the engineering. How many of you can tell me for what Albert Einstein got Nobel Prize? Any? Excellent. Photoelectric effect. He never got Nobel Prize for theory of relativity. Why? Because Nobel Prize has a rule, unless it is experimentally verified, you don't get Nobel Prize. And our theory of relativity was never experimentally verified when Einstein was alive. So scientists have that sort of thing. I will propose something, it will be proved 50 years or later, fine. All of you will be engineers. You will be working in some company. There is something happened that something is not working. Your boss said you go and rectify it. And if you tell your boss, okay boss, I will go home and study this material and all that, and after 15 days I will give you a solution, what will happen to your job? Can you do that? No. Sorry, no. So engineer's job is to get things done. So please prepare that mentality from now onwards. Get things done, because there is no alternative. And this is my quote, whether you like it or not. I have given somebody else's quote. What is this quote? Success comes before work only in the dictionary, not in real life. Real life, always work comes first, success comes later. So don't make that mistake. This is why I want to say something, that it is our human behavior. I don't know, you may not know Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy is not American, he is a Russian. Very, very famous writer. He is the only person who refused Nobel Prize on literature. He was awarded Nobel Prize on literature. He refused. He said, I will not accept Nobel Prize. But anyway, he said, look at that what he said, very simple thing. Everyone thinks of changing the world. আমরা সবাই মনে করি এই এটা চেঞ্জ করা উচিত, ওটা চেঞ্জ করা উচিত। Nobody thinks of changing oneself. আমি কখনো এটা মনে করি না যে আমার কিছু চেঞ্জ করা। Now this is very important aspect because I tell you one thing. Achha, you tell me one thing honestly. You do something, anything, and somebody tells you, look, what you have done is not correct. Will you accept it? Honestly, you have to say. Probably 90% of times you will not accept it. You will argue. No, I did this, I did that, and all that. So there is always this sort of open-mindedness we require. That, achha, why he or she said that's not correct? Let me see. He or she may be correct, maybe it's wrong, but let me hear. So these are the sort of, sort of soft skills. These are all soft skills. Today I am only talking about soft skills, nothing else. And another thing is, whatever solution an engineer gives, it is always preferable to give a simple solution. See, you can always give a very complicated solution which nobody understands, and then everybody will say, oh, what a brilliant person is that nobody understands what he or she does. That's not the point. Again, I tell you a story. Have you heard the name Mikhail Kalashnikov? No, but you have heard the name AK-47. Everybody heard that? AK-47? What is that AK? AK, it is automatic Kalashnikov. It's a rifle. And there is a famous story behind it. And there is a very, very good Netflix movie you will just see on Kalashnikov. A very, very nice movie, I have seen it. Now, what happened, Kalashnikov was a Russian soldier. He was never very highly educated, some school level pass, that's all. And he was sent to the Second World War. And he was wounded. So he was brought back for treatment. When his treatment was going on, he started thinking, what happened at the war front? Then he understood that these Russian rifles, after some 4 or 5 shots, getting very hot and jammed. Whereas the German rifles were not getting hot. So they were getting shot. Then he decided, it was in 1942, that time war was going on, he decided, I will make a rifle, design a rifle. But he was not an educated engineer. But he was such a person that, some person are there, they can make things. So he started working himself. And in 1945, he came out with a design. After 3 years. By that time, World War was over. Then he went to the Russian generals and said, well, General, I have designed a rifle. Everybody laughed at him. You are a rifle designer. But he didn't stop. He went to everybody. And after 2 years, in 1947, that rifle was tested by Russian military and accepted as official rifle of Russian military. So that's why that 47 came, that AK-47. It was approved in 1947. If you Google it, today all other arms, if they are sold X, only AK-47 is sold more than X. It is that much popular. And Mikhail Kalashnikov, although was just a school educated, he got 37 PhDs from 37 universities for innovation. Now when he became very famous, one journalist asked, this AK-47 works in Siberia, extreme cold. It works in Sahara, extreme hot. It works in Brazil, Amazon jungle, extreme rain. What is so special in AK-47? You know what Kalashnikov answered? He said, its specialty is, it is simple. That's why it works everywhere. So that's the point, Can I come with a simple answer to a problem? or I will come with a very complicated answer. I give you, out of 100, 95 times we will come with a very complicated answer. Only 5 times we will come with a simple answer. But those 5 answers actually are the best answers always. And this is another of my own quote. Again, whether you like it or not. If you fail to plan, what are you doing? You are planning to fail. So planning is so important in life. Planning everywhere. You know, tomorrow we will go somewhere. Plan it. Anything, you know. You will make a party with your friends. Plan it. If you don't plan it, there will be chaos. You can take it granted. And an adaptable person always has a plan B. That means your plan A may fail, have some plan B ready. That means if plan A fails, I will go for a plan B. And I have seen all successful people, they are like this. They are like this. That's why they are very successful in life. And you know, what we say? Oh, Baba, ekdom সময় নেই, কি চাপ? কি চাপ? If your mother calls, he will say, oh, মা তুমি বুঝবে না, কি চাপ? এখন কোনো সময় নেই, পড়াশোনা করবে। But that's life. I mean, it will be there. Time is always tight in your entire life. You will see time is tight and pressures are high. It will, don't think it will be less 4 years later. You ask anybody sitting here. Every time your time will be tight and pressure will be high. So learn to work with it. Learn to work with it. Now this I will forget. This is, I will try to highlight again a management principle called a Pareto principle. In management it is taught that, say, if you do 100 works, out of that, 80% of the works actually doesn't do much. It is only 20% that makes all the difference. Actually, our output is only based on those 20% of the or initiatives. The point is, we don't understand which 20%. Those people who understand that which 20% makes the difference, their output is always good and they always go on. You know, when somebody goes up in an organization, the first thing we think, প্রচুর তেল দিয়েছে বসকে তাই উপর উঠেছে। Well, it is possible, but I tell you it is not always. There are a lot of people who work and work. Don't think always in that negative way. And this is what a famous person said. Have you heard this name? Leonardo da Vinci. Why you heard this name? Mona Lisa. Everybody says Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci was such a brilliant person. Mona Lisa was only part of his skill. He was the first person to design an aircraft, which is still today there, that drawing. And today people say it was a helicopter sort of aircraft he designed. He is the first person who made the map of the city of Florence in Italy. You know, map making is English called cartography. Like the Google map and everything, it is called cartography. He was the first cartographer of the city of Florence, and everything he did in when he was born in 1452. So that time. So can you see that this person who lived how many years? 48 plus 19. So 67 years. So he did all these things, science, art, map making and so what not. So just think about his available time, 24 hours a day. And that time, all those technological, today's thing, digital world was not there. So what he said, time stays long enough for anyone who knows how to use it. You understand what he said? But it is only important we have to learn how to use it. Then time will be there. And you know, in management there is another principle. If you are a boss, under you there are 10 people. There is a very urgent work you have to do. Question is, to which person you will give that work? And the management teaches us, give it to the busiest person. Give it to the busiest person. Because this busiest person, that means he or she is doing a lot of work, they will find some time and do it. And give it to the person who doesn't know, he or she will come out with 10 excuses to not to do it. So this is why I cannot do it, this is why I cannot do it. So this is what is the key of our life. And another important thing is how to say no. And then you tell me, you have your seniors or your boss, you have your juniors or maybe your subordinate, and you have your same level. Can you say no in the same way to these two people? The way you say no to your boss or you say to your juniors? And you have to say no, you cannot say yes to everybody, it is not possible. So this is a skill we have to develop. Again, a soft skill. Now what I am trying to tell you is that soft skill has many different layers. It is not only just speaking. There are many layers. Today, we say it's a knowledge society. So knowledge is power. So this is a meme. Knowledge meme. It's very nice, isn't it? That this person doesn't know what is H2O. So now he is walking 9 kilometers to get water. Otherwise, just 50 meters there is water. That's the power of knowledge. And when do you develop these things? It is your foundation. These 4 years. These 4 years. That's why I said 4-year transformation. And my concluding quote that comes from whom? Have you heard this name? See, this is a legacy. In the Greek time, that means they were around 300 BC, that means 2500 years back. The great philosopher Socrates, heard this name, Socrates? Socrates' student was Plato. Plato's student was Aristotle. So see the legacy, unbelievable, isn't it? Now, I will give you one more example of such legacy, then you will understand this excellence is something. So, Aristotle was very practical man. He was not a theoretical philosopher. He said, what is excellence? He said only 3 things, just like Richard Feynman, he said 3 things. What? High intention, that means I want to do something. Second is sincere effort, that hard work. Third one is intelligent execution. See, such a simple statement, only thing is we have to, understand it here, not here. We have to understand it by our heart. And just like that, this excellence at Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, there is another example much later. There is a very famous university in Germany called Humboldt University in Berlin. During 1880s, at that time engineering was Bishop retired. Who came in his place? Max Planck. The entire quantum theory is based on Planck's quantum theory. Can now think that Kirchhoff, without that law, electrical circuits, you cannot work. And when he retired, came Max Planck. The entire quantum theory is based on that. Max Planck was there for 20 years. After he retired, who came? Arnold, that theory, that duality of anyway, just I forgot that name. Another Nobel Prize was there. No, that particle and wave, so what is that called? Wave function, Schrödinger, Arnold Schrödinger. So when Planck retired, his place was taken by Arnold Schrödinger. Can you imagine an university that for last 35 years or so, first was Kirchhoff heading the department, second Planck heading the department, then Schrödinger heading the department. This is excellence, isn't it? And that doesn't fall from the tree. That doesn't fall from the tree. Thank you. Thank you very much. As I said, I came with nothing technical, but as I said, that see now almost 2:45. If you remember a small thing of whatever I have said, I think it will be better. Thank you and all the good wishes.
I will request our distinguished guest ma'am to come here and stand for a photograph, please. So, to please sit down. From my part, as already I have extended my vote of thanks, I have nothing to say. It is an unimaginable, flawless and eloquent speech, extraordinarily designed and manifested. Sir, I actually, in my student life, I have attended many lectures of sir. I was not a radio student. I am from Electronics and Communication Science from Electrical Engineering. I did a course of KSP. That time sir has given some good lectures and I have heard them, I just gone through them. So he is absolutely amazing. And what I got from him, actually this today's session is not only for engineering, how to be an engineer. Not for certain things which are engineering courses. Engineering outcomes. It is how to become a proper engineer. আমরা যারা ইঞ্জিনিয়ার আমরা কিন্তু আপনি বলেছিল একটা কথা আজকে আমি বলছি যে এইখানে এই জায়গায় অডিস তৈরি করা যায় না। এরকম একটা কথা এলবিডিটি হেড বলছে, এলবিডিটি থেকে এসে বলছে কি জায়গায় কলেজ করেছেন আপনারা। আমরা তখন বলেছিলাম যে আমরা যারা ইঞ্জিনিয়ার আমরা মরুভূমির মধ্যেও ফুল ফোটাতে পারি, সেখান থেকে জল বার করে আনতে পারি, তাকে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার বলে। এবং সেই কাজ দায়িত্ব তোমাদের হাতে রয়েছে, তোমরা তার 3 নম্বর ব্যাচ এবং আই হ্যাভ ডান দ্যাট অ্যান্ড ইউ আর দ্য legacy holder who ultimately take it forward. এটাই বলেই স্যারকে আমার অন্তর থেকে আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আমাদের পেশেন্ট রেখেছেন এর জন্য আমরা কলেজের পক্ষ থেকে ম্যামকে বিশেষ সম্বর্ধনা জানাই এর জন্য। আর একটা কথা তোমরা যদি এখন চলে আসো, যেটা আগের বার হয়েছিল স্যার বলেছিলেন একটা যদি গ্রুপ ফটো নেওয়া যায় ইট উইল বি গ্রেট থিং। ম্যাম সাথে থাকবেন, তাই জন্য ম্যামকে ডেকেছি। থ্যাংক ইউ।